Hi everyone, MsMalcolmHughes back with another book review. This time we are going to do Just Mercy by Bryan Stevenson. I know, I'm late. I'm gonna work on it. 2019, my goal is to not be so late. I actually have a few things planned and a few things that are coming up. So the problem of me being late with the book review should actually stop. But we're doing Just Mercy by Bryan Stevenson. And I'm also going back to trying to keep my videos between 3 to 7 minutes. So this should be shorter, and please hold me accountable to keeping them short. So this book is honestly one of the saddest books I've ever read. Like, I know that when I did my Roxane Gay book review, I kind of talked about how she is one of the select few people where if I read her books, they make me so uncomfortable that I have to sit them down, give myself a moment to breathe, and come back to them. I think that that is definitely true of her books, but the majority of her books are fiction. The thing with fiction is it's probably pulled from a reality, whether it's hers or someone else's. So it definitely has that like weight and eeriness of like, this could have happened to someone. So in that sense, it makes me very uncomfortable sometimes. But this book is slightly different in the sense that these are factual events. Bryan Stevenson, I'm not sure if you all have seen the documentary 13th on Netflix. If you haven't, please go watch it. It's about the 13th Amendment and the prison system that we have here in America. Like, everyone should watch it. Also, if you've kind of been like following the like rants and kind of sporadicness of Kanye West, I think he kind of pulled from that a little bit when he was making his argument against the 13th Amendment. I don't think that he expressed himself in the way that he intended, but that's another conversation for another day. I do recommend that everyone go watch 13th. It is powerful. It is definitely something, if you are not fully aware, or if you're not like just up to date on what's going on with the prison industrial complex here in America, I definitely think that it's informational in that sense. If you are aware, Ava DuVernay is just amazing, so we should always support and honor her. But I bring that up because Bryan Stevenson is actually one of the attorneys that is featured in the documentary, talking about the prison system and the changes and the reform that needs to be made. He has spent all of his life's work working on getting wrongfully imprisoned individuals, not only in Alabama but in other states as well, off of death row. So individuals who have been wrongly convicted, who have been sentenced to capital punishment, trying to get them off of death row, get their charges dropped, the charges reversed. Like, that has been his life's mission. Primarily poor people, primarily people of color, primarily black people. Like, the bulk of his work happens in Alabama, and that's also where his organization is, but he has done work all over. He's phenomenal. Should definitely check out his like just life's work in addition to this book. But this book kind of just talks about that. He details a couple of cases that he's worked on, well, more than a couple, but a few of the cases that he's worked on, he really like reels you in, and it's written so poetically and eloquently that just, even though it's so like haunting, the tales and the injustice that you know you're reading about, you are just so captivated with these individuals and their stories, and just like you're kind of floored with like pain that they've gone through. Some of these people are like spending years upon years in prison, and they're wrongfully convicted. So this is just like their like entire lives. Like, even if you get money, like, money cannot make up time that you have lost being in prison. Money cannot make up for the like wrongful, frightening like things just like that can happen to you in prison. I won't go into too much detail, but just know that like some of these stories are like nightmare worthy, and even more so the fact that I'm reading this knowing that this is someone's actual reality. So if it's this traumatic or painful for me to read, just to envision or imagine how like devastating, destructive, like just like life halting, not even altering, just like life halting it would have to be to experience these things for yourself. And this is one of those books that's so painful to read, but it's so necessary. Like, it's necessary that everyone reads this book. It's necessary that everyone is aware of the injustices that are happening, not only in America, but specifically in America. And we all are aware, we all vote, we all actively do our role as citizens to change it. And I think that often you cannot make a decision, or kind of, you can't change something if you don't know what's happening, right? You cannot battle injustice if you are not aware that injustice is happening. And this is one of those books that is kind of just, it just drops you right in it. Bryan Stevenson is a modern day hero. In the words of Jaden Smith, he is an icon living. Like, I definitely think that this is a masterpiece. I definitely think it deserves every accolade that it has received. Undoubtedly, it deserves more. It deserves to be read, like, more. Everyone should read this. I could honestly see this being mandatory, like, reading in classes, definitely in like civics classes, or just in like criminal reform class. Like, everyone should have to read this book, because we all need to understand what we're battling. We all need to understand that the system is flawed, the system is broken, the system does need to be changed. And just, there are just so many stories here, and there's one character that he kind of follows throughout. We get to hear his full life's tale and experience that with him. I just think that this is a book that everyone should read. I think that Bryan Stevenson did a masterful job. I think that you will definitely learn something. You will definitely be stretched. You will definitely be challenged. But you will walk away from having read this book as a better person, a more well-informed citizen, and hopefully a change agent as well. So I do my scale from A to F, and I would say that this is an A. Like, it's just a powerful book, and I think it's one that should be mandatory reading for everyone. So do yourself a favor, go pick it up and just become a better human. Truly. So that's my review for Just Mercy. Hopefully all of you found it informational and informative. So if you're thinking about reading it, read it. If you're not thinking about reading it, read it. So yeah, the next book review will actually be A Brief History of 7 Killings by Marlon James, and that will be coming next week. Ideally, I would like to post videos once a week. Cannot promise that, but that will be coming next week. And as always, until next time, remember to give time, and to have the best day of your life.
Pretty, witty, girly, worldly, one who likes to party but come home early.